Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Please hit like and subscribe. Leave comments in the comment section. This is another episode of the Servant Live on Jam. That used to be the intro. Probably seconds behind, huh? It's all good. Got a couple of announcements that I gotta make. It's like some things that I have to say. Like off doctor to straighten that out. Road narrow, right? That's important. What's going on? Hold on. I gotta take care of this. Let me turn this off right here. Okay. Is this better? Chris. If this is better, then we're in good shape. Chris. So, the last, oh, that sucks, man. Okay, man, that sucks. Okay, hold on a second, guys. All right, guys, how's it now? Is it way better now? Probably a little choppy right at first, and then it stopped. Should be better now, I think. Well, I didn't want it to get to where we started thinking that this was getting it got pretty new agey yesterday, right? And that was not necessarily a good thing, but I want to say it like this. This is the way I want to preface it, right? I think that we need to be here for everybody, right? And not everybody is there yet, right? And I think sometimes you could be on the right track and veer off and then, stumble back on the right track, and hopefully that gets things rolling, right? But the reality of it is, the only way out of here, right, is through the sacrifice and grace of Jesus. That's it. Anytime that we want to change things in our own will, right, or take a little bit of divine power for ourselves, or try to um, change the language or whatever, it's better to just leave everything as described by God and do everything within God's will, and rely on Jesus' sacrifice for our salvation. That's the only way we're going to make it. And so while I don't hold the same opinions as some people, right? Like, we might have a guest where I don't hold that same opinion. Doesn't mean we can't be there for them. I want them to be here, but that's not, I wouldn't be helping them if I didn't tell them that wasn't, getting off the track of things. And it's hard, right? Because all the truth channels are wrapped up in some kind of like astrotheology, or especially when you run into guys like what's that guy, Santos Bonacci or whatever. It could seem intriguing, right? Because it feels like he's breaking it down, giving you more information, like getting into things deeper, but that's not what's happening. It's an inverted way of looking at the truth, right? And not everything on the evil side is going to be dark. they have like a yin and yang thing on their side, and we have God, which there's no equal opposite to God. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Is that it's scary to me, this all this new age stuff, man, because like we have people, right, that are, you know, I mean, we're at the point now where I don't know how many sheep are out there, you know, and the ones that we have, that I mean, we need to be there for each other and get each other right, you know. Hey AJ, how you doing? Hey Red Skies. I mean, we got to get everybody right, because we're not going to make it out of here. You know, I mean, yeah, we are going to make it out of here, but there's like, as in a group, right? Like there are some people that like just don't have it down yet. And it seems simple to me, right? Like everything is defined by God, right and wrong. All the power belongs to God. Praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace, right? We accept that for our sacrifice, for our punishment. And, you know, we get to give up our rebellious spirit and move on to the afterlife, you know? And I don't know, like I started to look at like all the 50-50 kind of things that people usually argue about, like when and I might be getting into something that's going to make everything pop, right? But I was going through the scripture. um right, well, so check this out, right? Check this out, Red Skies, right? I was going through, hey Sasquatch, I was going through Nicodemus when he was talking to Jesus, right? Jesus talking to Nicodemus, vice versa, right? But saying, you know, you have to be born again to be in the kingdom. And to me, right, it sounded like, right, you got to be born of the water, right? You got to be born like from your mom, and then to be at the kingdom of heaven, you got to be dead. You got to be born into the spirit. That it sounded that simple, right? Because nobody has ascended to heaven, is what they said afterwards, right? Except for God, Jesus, right? Because Enoch and Elijah were raptured. They were called up by God, right? Jesus is the only man in the flesh to ascend on his own authority, right? And so the only way we can get to the kingdom is in spirit. We can't get there. But a lot of people will write so much doctrine around that, and it doesn't even sound that complicated, right? When you actually read the scripture, it just sounds like we can't go there in our flesh body. We can't go there. And so, you know, that's only reserved, like Jesus was the only one who can. Right. And here's the thing, right? I've been baptized a lot of times, right? All in all kinds of different ways, right? And I don't know anything about that. I know that Jesus says we're supposed to get baptized. And so, you know, it's a commandment, right? We're supposed to do it. But like I don't know how that adds into like for salvation. It doesn't seem like that it's required for salvation, but I'll tell you what, I'll get baptized every day. Enoch and Elijah were called up, raptured, called up by God. But like he ascended on his own authority. So like ascending and rapture is two different things. But yeah, you're right. Enoch and Elijah were both. That's why it would be cool if they were the two witnesses. But I think Moses will be one of them. That's right. They weren't dead. That's right. That's right. You're right, Sasquatch. That's why I think that maybe like Enoch and Elijah will be the two witnesses, but it also Moses is a good candidate too. I even thought John the Baptist would be a good candidate, but Enoch and Elijah haven't died yet, right? So everybody's appointed once to die, right? That's right. That's right. When Jesus went, right, he ascended on his own authority. Like he 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 went on his own. He didn't have to be called up. You know what I mean? which is amazing, right? That's, that's authority right there. And I just think, yeah, that's right. Jesus died. You're right. You're right. You're right. So what do you think? What do you think? He was telling Nicodemus, right? You got to be born of your mother, the water, right? And then you got to be born of the Spirit. I think it just means that you can't, because they immediately after that conversation they talk about ascending to heaven. Now that's what I thought too, right? Kay Stover, I had that belief too that John is Elijah because someone said, "Oh yeah, there's John the Baptist. He came in the spirit of Elijah," right? But then it's like it's hard to like reconcile that, right? It's like, well, Elijah still has to die. And then it's like, and then you wonder, right? Like, could it be like Enoch and Moses would be like the two witnesses, and then Elijah is John the Baptist? That would be something. That would be. I mean, we'll all know when we get there. This is all little stuff that probably doesn't matter much, but it's interesting to like keep learning about God, right? Like to know more and more. I just like it's just so hard to find two people or five people that all agree on something, And sometimes I feel like we all have our own like why is there so many different views on something so simple? I mean, it just seems simple to me. Like when I read the Bible, right, just as like I'll read like an epistle or a book or a gospel, and I'll just read it all in one chunk. Yeah, Moses did die, but didn't something weird happen to his bones or something like that? Yeah, see, now that's something too, right? Because I've seen churches do that, right? Sing and talk in tongues, right? And I've never done anything like that, right? But then when I went there, I mean, it seemed like some of them were doing it for real. Like, I don't know, man. A lot of that confused me, and I don't know. Maybe you can get into worship where you get that, I don't know, that kind of you start worshiping and you get in that mood, or I guess, right? But it's never happened to me, right? And so it makes me wonder about that stuff, right? But who knows? I mean, I'm definitely not one to question anybody's stuff. If that's what they do, good for them. I wish I could run around and do it. So you were able to do it, like like when you were praying and all that, like you started talking in tongues and all that. To me, that's pretty cool. I mean, I mean, I went to this church with these people for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks, and they were all doing it, right next to me and everything. And it never happened to me. Like, I didn't know if I was supposed to make it happen or if it, I don't know how to do anything fake. You know what I mean? I'm an authentic kind of person. So I don't know if you got to get it started or whatever. I don't know how that works. But I do know like I left there feeling pretty good. And I never usually felt good around Christian people, generally. And mostly because of like, um, some people seem fake or judgy or whatever. I don't know, like, but every once in a while I'd meet somebody that was just a beautiful soul and just a beautiful person. And it encouraged me that like, wow, that's what I want to be, like that person. So giving, and I don't want anything for myself. I just want to fulfill a purpose, right? And that makes, I mean, to be needed and to do what you're needed to do, if that feels so good, I could see how that would feel good. They fought over them at the angle. Dare not made an accusation, but the Lord rebuke you. God buried him. Oh, you mean they fought over him, the Moses, you mean? The bones of Moses. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Hey, Cold Springs, have you ever been to one of those churches where you talk in tongues and all that kind of stuff? How does that work? How does that work with the talking in tongues? Three Bible verses say Elijah and John the Baptist, who denied being Elijah. Yeah, that's what I thought too, right? Because so my initial belief was, yeah, that they were the same, right? But then, um, yeah, then I didn't think so after that. But that was my first belief, though, is that they were the same because someone said that he had come in the spirit of Elijah. But I mean, that could mean anything, right? Like, oh, he reminds me of this guy or whatever. Yeah. If someone speaks in tongues, to be someone there to translate what it means. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that you had to have a translator. These guys were just kind of like talking kind of, it was like nonsense to me, like blah, 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 you know. But they looked like they were like happy and I mean, one guy was sweating and all kind of stuff, man. I mean, it looked like hard work, man. Like if that's fake, then man, that I can't imagine somebody wanting that much attention to do it like what this guy was doing. Yeah, I don't know, man. Could be a demon. I mean, who knows, right? I mean, who knows? Just because I don't understand it doesn't mean it's not real, you know? So, yeah, yeah, real sweaty and pale looking. I mean, these people go through it, man. Yeah, hey, I mean, look, I get it, man. I mean, you got to know that in California, like all the churches out here are very liberal. So it's almost like not even going to church. So doing anything super in the spirit is like considered weird, you know? So even if it was real, it would be considered weird, you know? So, I don't know, man. It's a miracle I found God, right? I mean, really, I think he found me because there was no incentive for me to believe in God in my life. It was always incentivized to not believe in God, but I always knew he was there, you know? And then when I was at my most broken, right? I realized that that's all he's really all I have. And then it was easy to build back up. And then once flat Earth and all that stuff came out, and you started getting all that confirmation, it's like, wow, I wish I didn't waste half my life, not knowing God like I know Him now, right? Like I wish that I knew God back then because it feels good. It does. Feels better to know where we Yeah, see, Tam, see, you know what that stuff is, see, because like we don't really see it that much out here. I know I don't know where you live at, but I mean, like in the country, I know they do it a lot, like on the Bible Belt or whatever. But when I went to that one of those churches, I could never was able to do it. Hey, what about you, Chris? You're out in like Oklahoma, right? Do they do that out there? Some kind of Oh, has anybody heard from Faith or anything? Is she okay? I didn't hear nothing from her this morning, or Tom, or anybody. Nobody from that area. Not even Cindy, really. Yeah, there's lots of miracles nowadays. God uses people. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's so many miracles now and so much confirmation that God is real that I don't know how anybody could not, unless you just, I mean, unless a person just hates God, right? And that's their motivation, right? Then I get that, right? That's on them. But to say it's not real at this point is foolishness, you know. Oh, good, 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 Chris. That's good, man. That's good. Yeah, Chris, you've been doing really good, man, around here. Super good, man. And I know you got a lot of responsibility on your plate too at home. You went to church every week till you were 21? Well, see, we had the opposite life, Sasquatch. We had opposite lives. I mean, I don't remember. I mean, maybe on like certain holidays or something like that. I know I was christened or whatever, as a baby, and that was a Catholic thing. And then I don't remember ever going back to a Catholic church. I think for Christmas or whatever the days are that you go once in a while. Every couple of years we go. But nothing, my mom would put on a gospel song every once in a while, like a country kind of gospel song. But I probably watched Batman, the original Batman, on Sunday more than I've been to church. Which that's insane, isn't it? Like, I mean, this whole world is about mind control. Everything, the chemicals they give you, the stuff they teach you is all lies. They inject you with crap, right? There's all kinds of propaganda. They call it governmental, right? Controlling the mind. And then when it comes to God, they deny that He even exists, and it's just insane, right? Like they yeah, they just want to control your mind. That's what this whole world is. And if we can accept the truth, right? The whole truth the way it is, I mean, we're not going to make it, man. I mean, God makes it easy, right? Believe in Jesus, right? For what He did on the cross, confess Him as the Lord, right? Believe that He was raised from the dead, and you will be saved, right? That sounds very simple, but it's a lot of acceptance, I think, in that, right? Like, I mean, to be denying that any of these true things are real. I mean, I know it's hard to let go of old ideas, right? And I know it's tough, right? Especially when you've learned things as a kid and you want to believe them, right? But sometimes it's just better to let it go and just say, look, we were lied to. Nothing they told us was true. Only God was telling us the truth from the very beginning. That way you don't have to reconcile anything in the Bible to anything that's, you know, happening in your reality in the Bible should be the same. It should match, right? And for me to say, oh well, I got to reconcile space and evolution and all that into the Bible. That's not going to work, not at this point. I mean, we know now that they don't like us, and they is an actual thing. They're all related, man. They're all the same people, and you can tell them apart from other people. I mean, it's like there's so many filters to know who's telling you the truth and who's not, right? And I would almost rather be wrong, right, than to not be real, and especially during this time. It's hard, right, because no one wants to be pressured to do anything, right? But sometimes, it's like, hey, look, as your friend, I'm just going to let you know that nothing is real. Let it go, you know. And yeah, I guess upbringing has a lot to do with it, right? But also, like, if you liked somebody that taught you things, right? Pastors or teachers or whatever, or even if your parents taught you something, right? It's hard to let those things go, right? Because they were brainwashed too. It's not their fault. Or maybe you had a good pastor that was able to reconcile. How you doing, Hannah? And so, but it scares me when, like, that there's people that I care for. I want them to be okay, right? and then they're sounding new agey, man. You know, that's scary to me, man. I want to like it's not about acceptance, it's about helping that person get right, you know. And so yeah, we can't lean on our own understanding. It is narrow, right? Well, yeah, I mean, I agree we're supposed to be like children, like in our faith, right? Like, I mean, he's our dad, right? He's our father. And um in the grand scheme of things, right? If you think about eternity and how long that is, right? We're just babies, you know? And the more we act like we know our own, you know, like the more we act like you know, we have all the answers, right? That's not good either. We gotta be humble, right? So I definitely understand that, Red Skies. You're right about that. And so yeah, I don't know. Good to see you, Hannah. Yeah, everybody's good today. This is a good little group today, man. I'm happy. If it never changes, if this is the way it is for me right here, like every day, then this is awesome. Not a lot of drama, you know what I mean? We're just chilling chat. Well, I mean, astrology is real, right? I mean, there's no denying that, right? I mean, if 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 the stars, right, are to tell you about the signs and I mean to give you signs and seasons, right? Well, then obviously there's advantage to following the stars and doing whatever you do. So it's yeah, it's absolutely absolutely real. And that's why I think, you know how they say that uh because I think the stars are angels, right? I think that they're living beings, right? They all have a name. You don't name something that's not alive. And so like I think they're all alive and I think they're angels. And I think when, you know, like they say the Magi followed the star to Bethlehem or whatever, you know, they say the three wise men, but it was the Magi. And they're following a an angel, you know? An angel brought them there. Well, here's the thing, right? I wouldn't use a tarot card, you know, and if you're trying to use these things to make divinations, right, to divine the future a little bit, or to you know, talk to spirits, that kind of thing, right? Yeah, we're not supposed to do that. But to be aware of it, right? To be aware of what it is, right? And why they do it, right? I mean, you got to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves, right? So, you know, now that I know about the Christmas tree, I won't put it up. But I've told people that are like, that are good Christians, you know, hey, we're not supposed to do that, and they don't care. They want to do it anyway. And so it is what it is, you know. But I haven't had a Christmas tree in for probably a decade, you know. And see, now I do talk to God every day, but I don't. It's not like a conversation, like words, right? It's more like an inner. I'll get an inner knowing from Him, or an instinctive knowing for something that I normally wouldn't know, you know. It's I ask Him all the time, like tell me when the end is, or you know, tell me what you want me to do, or you know, that kind of thing. When I pray about the show, I get help. Be patient here, do this here, that kind of thing, you know. But no like audible voice or anything like that. I don't get. And so oh, you well, that's cool if you had a good chat. Oh, it ended up being horrid. Uh Yeah, I can't imagine that that's worth anything, you know. So I don't. It's not something I would do. I'm beyond that. I don't care anymore. Some people talk about using tarot cards or anything else closely related to magic and leaving. Don't go back either. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, why would we want to be around that? You know. Well, you, you got to do what you do. You know, whatever feels right to you. You know, I mean, I would say that it's pretty clear not to do it, but if I don't know how it goes. Like, it's probably a sincerity of heart issue, right? If your heart is sincere, and I don't know. It's hard for me to tell anybody else what to do on that, but I feel it's pretty clear not to do it. You know. Say, I am loved, I am needed. Oh, that feels good. It does feel good when you say it like that, huh? Yeah. Well, it's like yeah, trying to talk to the dead. That's not a good thing. I mean, there's just certain things that we're just supposed to, like. I mean, I know that, like, there's certain things that we're able to do, right? It doesn't mean that we got to do it, you know. And for some people, that's hard to do. Like, if there is an ability or a power or something that they could achieve, they want it, you know? And some people are good at leaving it alone, right? It's just like some people want to drink, some people don't. Some people want to do drugs, some people don't. Some people can just leave it alone, you know? And they don't need that advantage or whatever, you know? And so there's a lot of people that are going to want to try to do it the wrong way a few times before doing it the right way. And it's weird, right? Because you think that you could tell somebody about your mistakes and skip them over what you went through, and it doesn't work that way. They got to either make the mistakes or not, right, on their own. And so it could be, especially with kids, it's hard to watch your kids go through that when you like, oh no, this is the way you're supposed to do it, and they're gonna do it anyway. You know, it's heartbreaking, right? Well, Sasquatch, I probably wouldn't even have started that scenario, like, but you know, one thing I know is that, like, if you can't reason with somebody the first couple times, right, and make a deal like, hey, you stay on your half, I stay on my half, right? If then you're never gonna be able to reason with that person. It's either all or nothing, you know. Yeah, I mean, you know, it doesn't do me any good to get involved with it. I do look at all opinions. She says I do look at all opinions without judgment because oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, especially when you're starting all over. Experience and trial and error usually only takes one time to learn what's right. Yeah. Well, discernment is a must, right? But I mean, even though I think I have pretty good discernment on some things, there's some things that I do miss, and I'm like, man, how come I'm not getting certain things, it's almost now where it's like I almost don't even think there is a source that is good. And I'm not saying that there is not a source that it doesn't have good intentions. They might have good intentions or be good people and teach good stuff, but at some point they will make a mistake, And so, like, there's no Some people are just shills, man. Like they would hold the Bible and try to do you harm. I just never I can't imagine that. Yeah, Tam. Yeah, it's not even it's not even a question. Not even a question. I think people they take that it hurt initially, right? Because it's your friend, right, turning on you, right? So it hurts initially, and they think that they keep sticking the needle in, it's going to keep hurting, but actually, after a while, it loses all effect. And sometimes, to be honest, I miss the attention because it does bring a few extra people in here, and it does. You're like, hey, what happened to my what happened to my troll? You know, but it's there's advantages of having it and not having it, just like anything else in life, right? I could pray and get everything that I want and have my life fall apart, right? Well, and that's it, right? That's it. Is that I I fall in love with people's potential, right? And I think, oh, this person could be good if they were a good person that with the energy and blah blah blah. And they just never they don't want that. They want to be selfish and they accuse everybody else of being that same way. But it's all projection. Just listen to what they accuse other people of, and that's what they do. You know, it is what it is. Well, I mean, you could say that about 99% of the world, Sasquatch. I mean, we're all burnt out and oh, my passion. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You know, no, I'm getting already trolled by two other people right now. They're just not as famous, right? So it's not as big. But yeah, I still got stuff going on. Trust me. I haven't had peaceful phone ownership in a long time, right? It rings every 2 minutes, some kind of scam, you know. But whatever, who cares? It's like they can't do any more to me now because it's already maxed out. Thank you so much, Tam Tam. I appreciate you saying that. I mean, I don't see that in myself, but if it feels good to hear it from other people, then I believe it, I believe it when it comes from somebody else. Thanks for saying that. Yeah, we gotta change our yeah, but here's the problem though, like with this type of thing, right? We have to kind of leave it open to let some people in here that aren't quite saved, aren't quite on track, right? Because we're trying to get people there, right? Like we gotta. Oh man, I'm getting way more than that, Chris. More than 20 calls a day from just crap, loans and stupid stuff, and yeah. But yeah, I mean, we want to try to get everybody to the other side, right? I want everyone just to be good. I don't want anyone punished for anything. I mean, yeah, there's some things that yeah, that deserve severe ultimate severe punishment, right? But for the people that have a chance to make it, yeah, I'd like them to make it. You know. Well, thank you, Tam. I appreciate it. That's all that matters to me is my purpose to God. I don't want anything else, right? I'm done dating. I don't need money, right? I don't need attention from anybody. I'm not bored. Like I have everything that I need in life, right? Far beyond what I deserve, far beyond, right? And if I could just be here, right? For a couple people that just want to talk about the Bible or just want to shoot the crap or they have a problem to talk about, and if I could think about how to handle it in a biblical way, maybe help them out, Like, but I'm also humble enough to know, right? I've only been reading the Bible for a few years. I'm not like some guru, or I don't, I'm not like a some teacher, or I was just able to get a little audience. I don't know why people come to see me, but they do, and I got to use that for good, right? It's something God put into my life. That's something I could do, is that people want to come here and listen, I guess. And it's not a lot of people, but it's enough, right? That's the hardest part, Sam, is the patience, right? Is letting somebody act in a foolish, bad way and not go over the top and cut them off, right? Because that's you're tempted to say, "Come on, man, enough of that crap, man." You in and out of here talking crap about me, blah blah blah. But if you let all that go and just be there for people when they come back, that's what matters, right? What matters is what are we doing right now, right? None of the past matters if we're trying our best today. And that's the hard part, is the patience, and the forgiving 70 times 7. But that's what keeps me growing, right? That's what helps me grow. And so, um, you know, people help me grow. Well, it's time to hit the old dusty trail. I know I'm not going to hold a audience past this, but I appreciate all the love and all the great comments. Makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy. And so, praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace, because I mean, that's the way out of here. We're in a mind control situation. Jesus got us out. There was a contract. He paid the price, right? We were going to get punished, and he saved us, and all the glory goes to him, right? And yeah, and that's the thing, right? Is God has to be involved in everything that we do. Everything we do, God's got to be number one. The first person we talk to every morning should be God. Just out of respect. And but I know that most of us do it. See you later, AJ. See you later, Sasquatch. See you later, Chris. Bye, Tam Tam. All right, guys. And I think Shannon's still here. See you later, Shannon, if you're driving. And see you guys at 5 p.m. tonight. God bless you. Pray for the children, please.